Hello, and in today's video we're doing Premier League predictions for match week number 17 of the 2022 to 23 season. That's right, score predictions are back on the channel. Don't forget that the scoring system is 3 points for correct result, and then it's 7 points for the correct scoreline. And going into match week 17, of course, we've got World Cup to react to, which of course was well won by Argentina. The Messi Ronaldo GOAT debate is over. It's settled. Fair play, Argentina. They were titanic in the end. But France, Mbappe, what a player. He's going to be the next GOAT of the next generation. Happy birthday for him, by the way. Today turns 24. But in today's video, we are predicting the return of the Premier League after the World Cup break. This is going to be really fascinating because how on the money are these players going to be? Are they going to be up to full fitness? Are they going to get back into the swing of things quickly? Or is there going to be a massive dip in performances? But let's get into the fixtures without further ado and make sure you get in the score predictions into the comment section below and I will rate them in the next predictions video. As I say, 3 for the right result and then 7 for the right scoreline. And we can tally up a little festive predictions league if you really would like, so that would be really interesting. And of course this is the Boxing Day fixtures, so it's Christmas. Merry Christmas everyone, have a happy new year as well, and make sure that you get all those presents wrapped quickly and get some good stocking fillers. But let's get into it then. First of all, we've got Brentford against Spurs, and that takes place at the G-Tech Community Stadium in London, Brentford. It's also on Amazon Prime Video, as all of these games are, so unfortunately no Sky Sports coverage for over the Boxing Day games, but there are some games at the end of the year, I think, which are back on the regular broadcasters. So Brentford, obviously, before the break, very, very impressive victory at the Etihad Stadium after a brace from Ivan Toney, silencing Gareth Southgate for not picking him for England in the World Cup squad. And, they were superb. They might have conceded just before half-time from that Phil Foden thunderbolt, but that didn't matter because Brentford, even at a team like Man City, they actually went for the game and on the break were looked superb. So Spurs will be a bit worried, I can't lie. Brentford, they were on a bad run of form before that Man City game, but they've got Ivan Toney and ultimately he is such a threat. However, he did get booked in that game against Man City, I think. There's something about he's got this ban. We don't know whether he'll be back in time for Spurs. But ultimately, that's still one to watch out for. However, of course, how will Harry Kane respond to that gutting moment for his career, missing that penalty and skying it over the bar, which ultimately costing, as much as it feels harsh to say, costing England a spot in the World Cup semi-final. Ultimately, he's a good professional and he'll use that to motivate him, but it was obviously a big thing happen to a player and it's going to impact them. So wonder if Harry Kane will be affected by that. And also you got Son Heung-min looking to bounce back from what was a really poor start to the season. Also Dejan Kulusevski is back from injury, with Richarlison, who was superb at the World Cup. He's now back injured. So there's a lot of things going on, but Spurs have got a lot of players missing for this game. Your likes of Bentancur, your likes of Romero. So I feel like there's a lot of gaps here that Spurs could be exploited by. So I'm going to say Brentford to win this one by 2-0. And both goal scorers I think will be Brian Mbeumo, who of course did well in the World Cup with Cameroon. And then the second one for the Bees is going to be Norgard. Now, it is Palace against Fulham, a nice London derby to get yourself into this one. And Palace, obviously, before the break, didn't look great, especially away to Everton. Very, very sloppy. I honestly think that Palace defensively are a bit more suspect than we think. They didn't look great against Nottingham Forest, and ultimately they paid the price with a defeat. So I think Palace will struggle against the Fulham side, who really have been superb most of the season. Mitrovic has been banging in the goals, although they did lose narrowly to Manchester United before the break with that Garnacho goal. But I feel Fulham will at least get a point from this. Crystal Palace 1, Fulham 1, and Mitrovic to score for Fulham. But then the Palace goal scorer will be oh, you just know it, Wilfried Zaha every time. Everton Wolves now, and I think this is going to be a tight game, but I'm predicting a 1-1 draw here. I just don't think either side will have enough to get the victory. So then Everton goal scorer, it's going to be a sticky one, but we'll go Damari Gray. And Wolves goal scorer, he scored in the World Cup. I think he'll take confidence from it. Hwang Hee-chan. Now we've got Leicester versus Newcastle United. Should be a good game. Leicester have picked up a bit of form and defensively they improved after a very, very bad start to the season, which showed relegation form. They're now looking much better. And Maddison obviously was unfortunate not to get any minutes in the World Cup, but down to injury and, selection decisions, it just didn't happen for him. However, he is the main man for that Foxes team and they're going to look to bounce back. So I think Leicester will be favourites here to at least put in a solid showing, even with this Newcastle side doing so well. But I'm going to still back Newcastle because just they've been superb. So Leicester City 1, Newcastle United 2, and goal scorers for Newcastle, Kieran Trippier and Miguel Almiron. And for Leicester, it's going to be, once again, oh yes, not Maddison, but Tielemans. Now, it's Southampton versus Brighton, a nice South Coast derby here, and I think that the Seagulls are going to get the victory because Southampton have just been dodgy, in my opinion, and under Nathan Jones, they're going to do their best, but I don't think it's going to be good enough. Southampton 1, Brighton and Hove Albion 2, and 2 goals scored here for Leandro Trossard, and then 1 goal for Southampton from Che Adams. Now we've got a game between Villa and Liverpool. Now, I ultimately think that Villa are going to be a much better team after the appointment of Unai Emery. He's really improved them. Great win against Manchester United. So they really look a good side right now. But Liverpool, I think they're going to click. They've really not started the season well, and then they started to have a bit of a resurgence towards before the end of the World Cup break. And Nunez is back in the goals. So I think he'll be on the score sheet, as will the Egyptian king Mohamed Salah. But Liverpool do get the win. Aston Villa 1, Liverpool 3. 2 from Mohamed Salah, 1 from Darwin, and then the Villa consolation late on is going to be scored by, oh yes, Danny Ings. And now it's Arsenal versus West Ham United. I think Arsenal get the victory here, but I think West Ham do score because they've been a good side, West Ham, put through the years, but it's just this season they've struggled to get going. Jared Bowen to get the opener for the Hammers, but then Arsenal goal scorers will go for Gabriel Martinelli, and then a 2-1 victory for Arsenal after the second comes from Granit Xhaka. Now, it is Chelsea versus Bournemouth up next, and this is a game I think Chelsea should be targeting a result, but they have been very poor in terms of form. So I'll say Chelsea 2, Bournemouth 0, and goal scorers for Chelsea, Kai Havertz, and then the second goal for Chelsea, Conor Gallagher. Then we've got Manchester United versus Nottingham Forest. It's as simple as I think this is a fairly comfortable Manchester United win. Jesse Lingard, of course, returning to his former side, but I don't think United will have any problems here. Manchester United 3, Nottingham Forest 0. Goal scorers, Luke Shaw gets on the score sheet for Manchester United for a rare occasion, but then the second, it's again Marcus Rashford, and the third for Manchester United, this time comes from Fred. And finally, we have Leeds versus Manchester City, and this is a game I think that City will dominate in. You look at Leeds, they've got injury to Meslier, so Joel Robles will be in goal for them, and I just feel that Manchester City are going to really flex their muscles, and in showing their intent to try and catch up on Arsenal, the 5-point gap, Leeds 0, Manchester City 2. Joao Cancelo to get the first, and Erling Haaland, who else, to get the last one of this match week. But those are my predictions for game week number 17. Get yours in the score predictions down below, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.